Do you dream of exploring the enchanted land of Morocco? Discover the magic with Destination Morocco, the ultimate travel experience for those seeking luxury and adventure. We specialize in crafting bespoke itineraries tailored to your unique tastes and desires. If you are a discerning traveler who values an immersive, curated adventure, then visit destinationsmorocco.com. That's destinations with an S, morocco.com. And let us bring your dream Moroccan vacation to life.
So, how are you guys doing?
I'm doing wonderful.
Amazing.
Are you hungry?
Always. I mean, look at me. Do I look like I miss a meal? I don't.
Yeah, it's
I,
evening time here. We already
Well,
had
you're going to be
lunch.
hungrier soon, I
oh,
think.
for sure, yes. Yeah.
Azdean, maybe yes.
Oh, trust me. This
Azdean.
I was looking forward to this episode Q&A live for a long time. This one is the food,
Yeah.
so I I'm always hungry.
Yeah. Especially I remember tangia.
I
Yeah.
know, I know. I mean,
Yeah.
wow. I remember the tour. We had such an amazing time. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the food
Yeah.
was just beyond amazing and delicious.
Now, you're interesting. I mean, obviously, your wife does a lot of the cooking and stuff. Do you feel that you really miss it, even living in Houston? Or was it even that much better being able to go back home and get
Well, I mean,
maybe.
honestly, I'm really spoiled because she's incredible, and the dishes that she makes are really really authentic and traditional. So, but when you go to Morocco, those dishes, when we talk about Moroccan cuisine, let's say for example we talk about just one dish, couscous. Everybody makes it different. From city
Yeah.
to city, it's different. From village to village, from different neighborhood to neighborhood, house to house is different. So that's what
Yeah.
makes it really, really unique. Everybody makes it different, their own way. They put their own spin on it, and so you can never get tired of eating it. It's the same dish, but it tastes different everywhere else. So
Hmm,
yeah,
nice.
Amazing. Yeah. Yeah. Because I remember when I was a kid, it's like in the Berber families, like we make it every day, every evening. Yeah, the women start in the kitchen, especially in the traditional kitchen with the fire and the woods. It's just 5 p.m. they
oh
start
man,
cooking couscous like that. It's pretty like around 7:30 or 8 already done. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's amazing. Yeah, I used to eat it so often, like every day since my childhood.
Do you get tired of it then? Like,
Oh, no, no. In the Berber families, it's like that, especially in the small villages.
mm,
No, yes, no. I can eat it like once a month, once in a month. Depends
okay.
on work and it depends on time. Yeah, yeah,
Because I was surprised in Morocco, like, well, we'll talk about this, I'm sure, but we learned how mostly people eat or at least make couscous on Fridays,
that
right?
is the culture.
yes,
Yes, yes,
absolutely. Yeah, this
yeah.
is a culture.
So,
It's like a feast. Yeah.
and is that the only day you'd eat it though? Or is it just made on Friday for the rest of the week?
Well, it's supposed to be Friday because Friday is a holiday, and that's how we celebrate the Friday, especially
Mm,
after the Friday prayers, midday prayers.
Yes.
Everybody gets together, friends and family, and that's how they have that couscous and enjoy it together. It's all about togetherness. But you can
Yeah.
still do it any day you want, and a lot of people do that as well. So, but
Yeah.
if you looking for food and you're outside, whether it's the street, whether it's the restaurants, couscous is
yeah.
available all the time. So not just Friday, but the culture and
Okay.
tradition is Friday for the house.
Yeah, it's kind of a family celebration, as family gathering, friends gathering, and stuff like that. As has been said, if you don't have time, for example, in on Friday, maybe Sunday, because most we have like holidays, like in Western, we have like a weekend, Saturday and Sunday in Morocco. So if it's not possible on Friday, so we make it on Sunday, like that. Gathers
Okay.
family and friends around. Yeah,
I see. Huh.
yeah.
Is so I was wondering this is couscous considered the national dish? Is it that kind of ubiquitous?
Yes, yeah, for sure, yes, yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. It's famous, and you can't find any house in Morocco without couscous.
Yeah.
Mm.
Nobody can say it, that say don't eat couscous. We said, what do you want to eat for example, Friday? Oh, we said couscous. So it's like a generations dish,
Yeah.
like throughout Morocco. Yeah.
Mm. So part of it is the fact that it goes with so many things. So, well, let's talk about that because let's there's a few of the famous dishes I think most people have probably heard of, but maybe they don't know what necessarily goes into them. And then you guys will tell us about a whole bunch of other things that I might know, but other people might have heard of. But let's learn about some of those too.
Oh,
But I think the famous ones, I mean, besides couscous, would be the tagines and the tangias, right?
yes.
And pastilla.
Pastilla. Yes.
I
Yes.
was surprised. First I thought it was like a typo when I was first learning about all this, like tagine and uh, sorry, tagine and
Tangia.
tangia,
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
but they are
Tangia.
two
Yeah.
separate things.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead, Sam, please.
Okay, so the tagine is the same as couscous. It's familiar and very famous in Morocco. But we can say, for example, tangia, it's special to mostly in the beginning, it's Marrakesh. Marrakesh is tangia because it's kind of dish that people used to make when they go out for like a picnic, like when they go outdoor, for example. Friends, they make it in the it's called farnaci. It's
Okay.
yeah, farnaci is an old like oven. It's cooked slowly, so as then we'll give you more details about how it makes. But for example, you can talk about pastilla. For example, it's the regions for like weddings, during the weddings, especially in the Fes regions of Morocco. But tagine, you can find it everywhere in
Mm-hmm.
Marrakesh, in Casablanca, in Rabat, in Fes, and it's same as couscous. It's prepared in a different ways, and it's maybe salt. For example, you can use it like with salt. You can use it, for example, with beef, with like lamb, with chicken, maybe with fish. For example, when we talk about the coastal regions of Morocco, like Sawira or Safi or
Right.
Tangier, it's amazing. It's different, and it's always delicious.
Mm.
Yes, just to
Yeah.
add to what Sam has said, Tangier is really specific to Marrakesh. And he said we make it in the Fornaci, and we'll have some videos and we'll have some images about the making of it because during the tour we did one Tangier in one of the Fornaci, which is the hot oven. And basically, in Marrakesh, the city is a little different. When I talk about Marrakesh, I'm going to go back to my teenage years, 20, 30 years ago when we hang out quite a bit outside, outdoors. It's really really popular, especially when if you're in Marrakesh. One of the must see places is the Menara. So we
Nara
used to
Gardens.
yes,
Yeah.
the garden. So basically we do the tangia, we make the tangia, and then we go to Menara, and that's where we just have we camping if you would. That's where
Yeah.
we eat it and enjoy it and just hang out with family or just friends, the boys, or just your clique, basically your group of people. Um, Now the culture has changed a little bit, so now you can have Tunisia literally in any city, um, but it was specific. Made in Marrakesh only. The same way when we talk about, for example, Bastilla, like Sam said, Bastilla is from Fast region. They make the best. They're the best, and it's you can make it with fish, you can make it with chicken, you can make it with dry fruits, and the ingredients is really really simple in a way. It's just basically it's you use phyllo, I believe, and then
Oh, the pastry,
yeah,
yeah.
and then
Yeah.
you add a little bit of almonds. It's got some sweets,
Yes.
decorations.
Eggs.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's so you can make it, sweet. You can make it salty. You can make it with fish, and use what do you call? I forgot the name of it. It's a type of pasta. Then you use different fish. You mix shrimp,
Yeah.
scallops if you can,
Yeah. Yeah.
redfish, salmon, whitefish. So it's really, really good. And they make it in, it can be like a size of one person, and that's what they do quite a bit here in the US. That's what's popular. But in Morocco, it's served for a family gathering, especially the weddings, and it's one pastilla. It's like it can feed maybe 10 people, 12 people, which is
Yes.
huge. And also, when we talk
Mm.
about tagine, it's a very very diverse dish, and you can make it like Sam said, fish, vegetables, lamb, beef, goat, and there's hundreds of different ways of making a tagine. Even now, some they make it with camel meat and stuff like that. So and you
Yeah,
can go from vegetarian tagine, just mixed vegetables, um, to any
yeah.
type of ingredients. Some of them that are really, really popular, and I know that you have some of the pictures sent out on the email, Ted, and you can see it either
Mm,
with green peas. There's so many options that you can make the tagine with, and some of the most popular ones with the chicken, with lemon peel, preserved lemon peel, green olives, and it's really, really tasty. So we'll add some pictures
mm.
for the
Yeah,
audience and the viewers just to see it, but it's really, really, really incredible. Thank you, thank you. Yeah,
yeah,
It is
yeah,
working. Yeah, good.
yeah. That's it.
you
Yeah.
speak in my language.
Oh, yes. That's it. Yeah, it's prepared in different ways.
Yes,
It's
yes,
delicious and amazing.
yes,
Yeah.
Right,
Just I
right.
want to add something to what Asdin just said. When you go, for example, when you come in Morocco and you heard like Berber, if you want Berber tagine, it means like vegetarian tagine mostly.
yes,
Hmm.
Berber tagine. Yeah, like me, for example, I'm vegetarian, so I'm so lucky to
Okay.
find like Berber tagine there somewhere. Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, just something else that I want to add to what Asdin said. When in Marrakesh, as I said, when you are out with friends, you order tangia, with it's called like nzaha, right?
yes,
In Marrakesh, nzaha. Let's go like to have fun, and when you finish like playing cards or just walking around the gardens and stuff. When you're starving or hungry, you come just around the tangia. It's huge, so
yeah,
and it's very delicious and
yes.
amazing. Yeah, yeah. This is
That's
tangia.
it.
Yeah,
That's it.
yeah,
Right.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So the tangia, well, and tagine too. I was wondering this, like, does it refer equally to the meal, the dish, and also the pot that it's made of
The pot that's
or
made
made
of
in?
That's
absolutely.
that's
This
that's
is
a
the name
really
comes from.
that's a really good question. This is good pictures we here. So I can add a little bit to what Sam said. So when you say the tagine, it's really the pot, to a lot of people. But when you say the tagine in Morocco, it's the pot that it's cooked in. So now here's the difference. Now there's some tagines just for decorations, which means you
Oh
can
yeah,
cook the meal elsewhere, a pressure cooker, which is really popular in Morocco. Then you serve it in that tagine, because that tagine is
yeah.
not made for cooking. And this is one.
Like that's probably this one at the top left
That's right.
here.
Absolutely.
Yes,
Yes. Right.
yes,
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Ted.
yes.
Yes, that's one. That
Now,
one.
the,
Yes.
the second one is you have a tagine that is a very traditional tagine, like the one that you see. It looks kind of old, and you can see it right here in the middle of to the right hand
Yeah.
side, next to the
Yeah.
the one with the meatballs and eggs next to it to the right hand side. That's a traditional,
Oh, like
yeah,
here.
that one
Yeah.
exactly.
That
So
one.
that
Yes.
Yeah.
one is for cooking, and the way to know the difference, and we've been through this. When you lift the tagine and you have that top part of it in your hand, you look inside, and if it has a small hole or an opening, that means that's for cooking. That's where the tagine can breathe. If it
Hmm.
does not, that means that tagine is not for cooking. It's just for
Only.
decoration, and it's just for,
So.
you can serve the food in it, but you cannot cook because it's gonna break, or you
Mm.
put it in the oven, it's gonna break. So that's what the difference is basically between tagine that it's for cooking and tagine that is just you just serve the meal uh, inside, or you put the meal in. So that's basically the difference.
Mhm.
Yes,
Yeah. Um, and then here's the tangia, right?
yes, yes, the
So yeah.
Yeah.
tangia.
That's
So they put the whole pot right in the oven.
Yes, the whole pot. It doesn't. The tangia nowadays, that the traditional way is the one that you have your mouse on, but it's a little different when you
Okay.
take it to the traditional Moroccan way. But you can make it this way. This is the second way that you can make it, and the third way that you can make it is you can put it on a pressure cooker, and you can serve it
Uh,
as you can see in these tagines. So you
yeah.
can
yeah.
serve it
Okay.
in a tagine, or you can serve it in a regular plate. But it's better actually when you serve it in a tagine. It just looks much better.
Is that
And
what's happening here with these ones that are
That
covered?
is correct.
yeah,
Huh.
and the difference between them is that the tangia must be cooked in a
Heat.
very slow fire. It
Yes.
means unlike tagine, for example, you can prepare it on the gas, for example. But tangia, you have to take it to the oven, traditional oven outside. In
Mm.
especially in the old Medinas, there is like as I said before, farnaci, and it took between 4 to 6 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you
Yeah, to prepare
yeah.
tangia. Yes.
Basically you place it a little bit far away from the fire. So you just
Yes.
yeah.
Very slow.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. Yes. And
Hmm.
then during the process, you pick it up and you shake it and you put it back into what do you call them? I forgot the name of them. Uh, yeah, those things that you see.
Ramad.
Yeah, Ramad,
Yeah.
on the first picture on the left hand side, the one on top.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what this
That
is.
one.
Yeah,
Oh,
Right.
like the round bowl
Right.
here.
no,
Right on the
no,
top. Yes.
yeah, I forgot the name of it. Yeah,
Hmm.
the stuff that you barbecue with. I forgot the name. The wood
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, like some kind of charcoal or
Yes, the
something.
charcoal. Yes, yes. It's a similar thing that we use in Morocco, but it's different. It's wood charcoal, but you put it
Right.
you put it a little bit far away from it, so it just slowly cooks.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And then here's some pastilla.
Yes. So yes.
So you kind of get a sense, I guess, of the different size. Like this one here looks pretty big,
Well, that's actually not
I
big.
think.
So the traditional
No.
Moroccan one, it's probably four times that size or five times that size.
Oh wow.
Yes. So, and also just as an indicator, Ted, when you look at the pastilla, you look at the decoration. That's what makes
Hmm.
you. That's how you can tell what's inside the pastilla. Versus, is it fish?
Oh
Is
yeah.
it chicken? Is it
Seafood.
seafood? Is
Yeah.
it
It depends. Yeah.
pigeon? So,
Yeah.
and for example, that one that you're looking at, that's a seafood, and it's you can see
Yeah.
the lime
Shrimp on
slices,
top. Yeah.
then the shrimp on top, and that's basically indicated
Yeah.
that pastilla is a shrimp or a seafood pastilla. Then the one that you
Hmm.
see the decoration just like the regular brown sugar with what do you call it?
Cinnamon.
Cinnamon. Yes,
Yeah.
that's
Cinnamon.
Oh yeah.
normally it's a little bit sweet. It's got some almond. Yeah, that one. That's perfect.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
chicken
Hmm.
most of the time.
Yeah.
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 Okay,
Yeah.
I think that's one we tried in Fez. Yeah,
Yes.
I remember
Yeah,
the
yeah,
cinnamon.
yeah, that's right. You tried it in Fes. Yes, that's right. Yeah,
Hmm.
and pastilla, by the way, it used to serve during the weddings and occasions before, in the past,
Yeah. Special.
and now it becomes like, yeah, special. Yeah, and now it becomes like a popular dish
Yeah.
that's served anywhere in a restaurant, especially as I said in
Okay.
Fes, and you can find it everywhere. Now, not only in Fes right now, in Morocco as well.
Hmm.
Yes, yeah.
And it's kind of consistent quality, whether it's, I mean, Fez it would be, but you could order in Tangier, you could order it in Marrakesh, and it would be a real pastilla.
It just depends. I mean, the quality
It
is going to be
depends
good.
on the place.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. There
But
is a places in Marrakesh where I know exactly in Marrakesh and Casablanca where I ate it in
Yeah.
the past. They are amazing. It's the same as one in Fez. Yeah, but you have. By the way, you have to order it ahead of time if you want a big one, especially.
yeah,
Oh yeah.
Yes. Yeah, in a restaurant, maybe like for one person, you can find small ones.
yeah,
But for family or for friends or for like celebrating an event, you have to order it ahead of time. Like you can order it in the morning to get it in the afternoon, for example, or in the
Hmm.
evening. Yeah.
Yeah, because it takes time, takes a lot of work, I
Yes,
yes,
guess.
absolutely.
absolutely, yes.
Interesting. Well, let's chat about that. I'll turn this off here for a second
Okay.
because, like, so you go to a restaurant. How easy is it to order any one of these dishes? Like, is it just there on the menu, or is it? Do you have to know how to order, what to order? Where do you
It's
begin?
pretty much available. I mean, the small sizes at the restaurant are there, part of the menu, just like you would get an appetizer or a soup or a salad. They're there. But what Sam was talking about, especially when you have an event, let's say it's you, your family, your friends, maybe 6, 10 people, then you need to order it from a special place. There's places that they can get it for you, but they need time to prepare it, depending on how big the size is, and also how the season. If it's wedding season, you need to get a little bit more time. So for
Yeah.
me, I would say an average of 1 to 2 weeks is good, just to be on the safe side. But we're talking one that I can feed easily 10 to 12 people. But it's something that is for
Okay.
2 or 4 people. It's not a big deal. It probably can be done the same day or couple of days.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So, is it? I'm trying to remember a bit back to when we would be at restaurants and look at the menu. I mean, for starters, is it generally in English? Like, is it easy to
Yes,
understand what you're ordering?
yes, yeah. It is most of the menus nowadays are in English. You'll see one part in English and the other part in Arabic or Italian, Spanish. So this, yeah, the menu is not an issue.
French.
Some they have
Yes.
different, different language menus, and they'll ask you which one you want, what language, and they'll bring it to you.
Yes, in restaurants, especially in the big cities like Marrakesh, touristic cities, I said, and in the
Yeah.
Riyadh's accommodation where you are staying in Morocco, you will find a menu in both languages in Arabic, French,
Mm,
and English. Yeah, it becomes
right.
very famous more and more. Yeah.
So then, is it easy-ish to know what the ingredients are, especially if you're concerned about certain
Yes,
ingredients?
yes, yeah. Normally they have the ingredients listed, but it's always good
Yes.
to ask
Yes.
just to be on the safe side. So
Yes.
I'll give
Yeah.
you an example. If you have never had pastilla before and it's your first time, just take it easy. Go easy on the pastilla because it's really, really rich in terms of
Yes.
the sweet.
We didn't finish it.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, and it's gonna fill you up. I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah.
if you get, let's say, I'll
And
give you an example. If you're invited to a wedding, um, and they because they're gonna give you a lot of dishes, many dishes, four or five, depends. So when it's
Mm.
time for them to serve pastilla for you, just take 3 bites, no more than 3 bites.
yes, don't eat too much because you will be full.
Yeah, it's going to fill you up. You're not going to be able
Yes.
to enjoy the rest of it.
Yeah.
So keep in mind,
Mm.
if you're invited to a Moroccan wedding, there's layers and layers of food that they serve. They start with the chicken, then they go with beef
Yes.
and prunes, then they go with couscous, then they go with pastilla, then they go with dessert like orange, bananas,
Yes.
whatever the
Yes.
fruit of the season. Then
Mm.
after that they do hot Moroccan tea. So it really depends, but you don't want to overeat. So this is number one. Number
Yeah.
two, um, if it's your first time to Morocco, um, take it easy on the food. The food is going to be really good, really delicious,
Yes.
but take it easy, slow down, because it can get to you.
Just to add to the pastilla, if you are like a seafood allergic, like me, for
Mm.
example, you have to be careful when you order the pastilla. Make sure that it's not included seafood.
Yes, yeah, of
Yeah,
course.
this is very
Okay.
important. Yeah.
But also the thing to do, just keep it in mind. Sometimes when you ask somebody, the waiter, the waitress, maybe they may not know, but you definitely want to either speak to the manager or maybe somebody needs to go and ask the chef or the cook, just
The
to be on the
Mm.
chef.
safe side.
Yes.
Because
Yes.
I can't relate to this because I eat everything. So, but Sam, because I remember when we went in Morocco and um, they served us, I think it was a soup in Whidbey
Yes.
Hotel. It was an incredible soup. I
Yes.
loved it, but it had seafood. So, and he's allergic to seafood. And then we
Yeah.
have one of
Mm.
the photographers, Ftah, is allergic to
Yes.
seafood as
Yes.
well.
Seafood as well.
So
Yeah.
I was enjoying it and having fun. And then look at them, they look red.
Oh no.
So you
Yes.
definitely want to ask.
I should be careful. Yeah. Yeah.
Jeez.
Couldn't breathe.
Yeah.
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 And tell us a bit about vegetarian options then. How common is it? How easy is it to get vegetarian
Okay.
food?
This one is definitely for Sam because he's vegetarian and he
Yeah.
suffers a lot. So
Yes.
I'm gonna.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. If you are in a big restaurants, for sure they have vegetarian options. But in
Mm.
small restaurants, I don't think so. If you want to eat in your accommodation or Riyadh, you have to order it ahead of time and tell them that you are vegetarian. Because as they said, I'm suffering to find my dish every time during 50 days of traveling in Morocco.
I mean, I feel bad for you because we're eating and he still doesn't get his dish. And somebody they bring the dish, but
Mm.
it has seafood or chicken.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
That's cool, yeah.
But
Well, that's
just
interesting.
yeah,
Yeah.
joking aside, I mean, this is a really serious matter, and it's always
Mm.
good to communicate. And for us,
Yes.
we really ask everybody who's traveling with us if they have any, food restrictions or allergies,
Hmm.
and we have to comply. We have to make sure that if they are allergic to
Yes.
whatever type of food,
Yes.
that food is not served when they're at the Riyadh or the hotel or the restaurant. So,
Hmm.
and we
Yes.
do a really
Yes.
good job, taking care of them that way.
Hmm.
So I will
Yeah,
ask you to
by
do
the
the
way,
same
yeah.
thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Last time we received, like, I guess if you remember, the family of six.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah. I remember.
one of them are gluten free,
Yeah.
so it's very
Oh
hard in
yeah.
Morocco to find gluten
Yes.
free. And the tour was amazing. And we
Yes.
took care
Yeah.
of them.
Yes.
Yeah, and every place they where they go, we made sure that
Yeah.
they took care of them. They are gluten free, and
Yes.
it was
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah. It's
Hmm.
you really have to be very careful. And for us, we do the same thing. We make sure that we communicate to to the establishments, or the accommodation, whatever you're staying, whatever your lunch is going to be, whatever your dinner is going to be. And also, if you have, your driver needs to know those restrictions. So when you say, hey, I want to go have lunch, but um, I can't have this type of food, so he knows exactly where to take you, and will help you and take care of you that way. Yeah.
Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah,
And I'm thinking, like, I mean, when you're in the cities, there's more options. The challenging time, as you say, might be on some of those long
Yes.
drives when you're more in the country. I
Exactly.
remember when we were going, it would have been the first full day, I think, from Casablanca all the way up to
the
Chefchaouen, and we
social.
stopped for
Yeah,
lunch at kind of a roadside barbecue type restaurant. It was a sit down restaurant, but it was all meat. It was
Yes.
lamb, and it
Yeah.
was very good. But I don't know if they had anything else. It
Yes.
was just kind of fresh cooked barbecue
yeah,
lamb. That's cool. But if you can't eat it, then you got to have other options or just be prepared. But it's not necessarily going to be like every single day that's like that.
Yes.
Maybe
yeah,
there's just exceptions for those some of those longer drives.
Yes. This,
yeah. I know that place.
this is
Yes.
this is a really good point, Ted, because a lot of audience, a lot of listeners and viewers, when they hear about the trips or they go into Morocco, yes, there are places like this. They just like pit stops. That's all they have.
Yeah.
You go, you'll have a tagine, you'll have a lot of food. $10 will feed the whole family. Not a big deal, but they don't
Yeah.
have a lot of options because those, to us Moroccans, they're literally like truck stops. You
Mm.
go in, you get a sandwich, you get a quick bite, and you go. And those guys, they're meat lovers. So for the tourists, it's a little bit challenging for them when
Yes.
they go because really there's not a lot of options. And some of them, you go in and say, hey, can I just want to get a coffee to go. They say they don't have it. Or tea to go, it'll be available,
Mm.
but you know, um, those are the things that as a local we know and we're aware, but as tourists they may not know about those places. But from
Yeah.
place to place you really need to know where to stop and get exactly what you need to get. So
Yeah.
Yeah, to come back to another point here is, as Dean mentioned before, when you come to Morocco, be careful. The food is like, I can say it's 90% organic,
yeah, yeah,
and when you
Mm.
eat it will be different. For example, you come in from United States or Canada, for example, to Morocco, the change of food you have just to be careful from especially first day and second day.
yes,
You don't have to eat too much,
yes,
especially when you eat spicy tagine.
yes,
You have to be
Yeah.
careful. Yeah, you have just eat a little bit.
yes,
If you have like a few days, don't eat too much during the first and the second day.
yes. And just to add to what you're saying, I remember as kids, we live in Marrakesh, and as soon as school is finished we go to the mountains. So when we go to the mountains, and I know the reason why Sam said you have vegetarian tagine, because of meat is expensive and they're not gonna
Yeah,
sacrifice or have a goat where they can sell it and stuff like that. So everything really costly, versus tagine literally doesn't cost them anything. Everything is just right there at the house. So the other thing I remember, the first time that I had goat meat when I was a kid, it did not really go well with my stomach, and I suffered. I was sick for 3 days. But the reason is
Mm.
because the meat is very fresh. Even Marrakesh, we eat beef, we eat lamb. It's still fresh, but not. You're going up to the mountains, and it's very different. The meat
yes,
Yeah.
it's
absolutely.
very strong.
Yeah,
We call it
Mm.
new. So, and
yeah,
then the other thing is they don't have refrigerators. So the way that they handle that type of, when they have a whole goat or a whole, sheep, basically they just, they uh, when they kill
divide
it,
it and eat it.
they
Prepare it.
well,
Yes.
actually they leave it whole. So they hang it, and they basically they put olive oil in it, and salt. That way it doesn't get contaminated and doesn't get spoiled. So it stays fresh
Mm.
for about 3 or 4 days. But then the whole family becomes carnivore for those days. They eat as much meat as
Yeah.
possible, so they're not gonna waste anything. So
Huh.
yeah, but normally that's how it's handled back then. I mean, I'm talking long time ago.
Yeah.
Now there's refrigerators, there's technology and stuff like that.
I'm trying to remember. Is rice very common in Morocco?
Yes, it is. That's a very good
Okay.
question. Rice is very common, but it's used in Morocco a little different, at least that I can speak here in the
Hmm.
U.S. And when you talk about the U.S. and you talk about rice, U.S. it's extremely diverse. There's all type of cuisines. I mean, especially here in Houston, we're really very fortunate. So, but if you look at the rice, the way, for example, you know, uh, the Iranians use rice versus the Indians and Pakistanis versus the Asian people use the
Sure.
rice. We use it differently in Morocco. For me, growing up, we use rice for dinner most of the time.
Yeah.
And basically, it's just boiled water. You add salt and black pepper. Then you add, the rice for a few minutes. Then before it boils all the way down, you add a little bit of milk to it, or you don't add milk. And that's how we have dinner sometimes.
Hmm.
Then you can have it, in a salad. Everybody makes it almost the same. Where you go in a salad, it's, a small bowl of salad and flipped over, and it's steamed a little bit, but not too much, not like the U.S. So salad, I mean, the rice. This is one of the major ways that we really consume rice. But I know sometimes you have certain, guests from certain part of the world that they have requests. They have to have rice, you know, for lunch, for dinner, whether they are two people or a group of people. So we have to accommodate them,
Hmm.
and that can be challenged. So when if that happens, then everything needs to be pre-arranged with the riads, with the hotels, with the restaurants, anywhere they go, and it
Hmm.
can be done. It can be taken care of. So, but I
Yeah.
also want to hear what Sam has to say. This is my point of
Yeah.
view. Yes.
Yeah, thank you very much for the question,
Hmm.
Ted. Just talking, for example, about rice. It's totally different than the Middle East countries. North African countries, they don't use it for in a daily basic
Yeah.
in
Hmm.
their kitchen, in their cuisine. Unlike, for example, the Middle East, they use it every day. We use it like in kebsa, in every dish they have, like
Yeah.
because they are next to the Asian countries, so they are affected by the culture of the Asian countries. In Morocco, as Dean said, you can order it if you like it. For example, in your salad, they can bring you like there is a famous salad in Morocco which called niswas, salad niswas. If you want to add the rice, you have to tell them to add it,
Yeah.
else they just will serve you salads without rice. So
Hmm.
yeah, we don't use it. We use it in our houses, as Dean said, during the evenings for
Yes.
for a dinner with milk or with tomato sauce, for example.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hmm. I was surprised just how I'd heard the stories, but just how common, how ubiquitous bread
Oh
was.
my God.
Like
Yeah.
it's everywhere.
Yes.
I mean, and it just keeps coming and coming, and I'll find a picture because it's the round
Yeah.
bread.
Yeah. We
Is
yeah.
there a name for that bread? Like an
Just
actual
say
name?
khobz. Yeah, Khadija makes amazing
Khobz,
khobz. Yes. Yeah.
khobz,
Yeah. I think
khobz, khobz in
we
Morocco.
Oh, I see. Okay, let me share this here.
Khobz. Yeah, it's
Okay, so these are some pictures.
yes.
So you pronounce it khobz,
yes.
Khobz. Khobz.
Khobz.
Yeah. Khobz. Yeah.
It's all khobz. It's all khobz.
Okay. Are they different? Well, that's a good point because from what I remember, they all seem to be the same recipe, but are there
Okay.
much variation?
Yeah.
Can you mute
Did
Sam?
you were in Morocco? You have to eat the khubz every day. In the
Yeah.
morning, in the midday, in the evening, they serve you khubz every time. It's not like US, for example. It's totally different.
It fed our kids for a week.
Can you mute Sam, please? No, I'm just joking. Actually, there's different types of khubz, if you would. So when you look at this picture, for example, you can see the one that you pointed at. It's the third one towards the middle,
Uh,
the one below
yeah,
it. That's called
here.
bagrir, which is a
Okay.
very special, specially made for the holidays, like Eid Saghir, which is after Ramadan celebration. Also, in all religious celebration, local celebration, national celebration. I mean, and it's really really good. And it's made, just semolina. You mix it with water, you add some stuff to it, and basically it looks like it's a crepe, but it's not a crepe.
Hmm.
Some call it, 1,000 whole bread. Some call it,
Yeah.
Moroccan pancakes. So it really depends. So there's many, many different types of bread. And Sam was laughing because he doesn't eat a lot of bread, and they keep
Mm.
bringing bread to him at the restaurant. So it was funny. So
Yes, and yeah, yeah. Just to add something to what Astin just said. In Morocco, if for example Ted, you were in Morocco, so every time you come in the morning, they serve you like bread. And it's
Yeah.
not like small pieces,
Yeah.
big like breads. For example, in the during the lunchtime, same thing. During the dinner, same thing. So in Morocco, we used it. So for example, when you are in Morocco and they provided a lot of bread to you, it means that you are most welcome and that we are very happy to welcome you here. Yeah.
It's a good sign.
Mm. Well, it is great when it comes
Yeah.
out fresh. It's hot
Ah,
and
oh man.
you know
Uh,
tastes great.
you know, so many memories. I remember as kids, the best way that we used to consume khobz or bread at that time, as soon as it gets out of the oven, we do some olive oil or butter, and it melts, and
Yeah.
especially the one that it's made out of barley, it's
Yeah.
really, really, really tasty. So
It's the second photo from right at the top, the second one right
Like
down.
here?
yeah,
Or
to
here?
the bottom, to the
It
right hand,
starts from right to the bottom.
to the
Oh,
That one. Yes, this is what
okay.
Azdean talking about. Yes, that one.
Huh.
Yeah,
so then then
in the
Okay.
then
morning.
then the one that you have small, that one is called either raghaif, um, or the small square ones. It looks like harsha, which is another type of bread. So there's many in terms of bread. There's so many different types, and also in the Berber culture they have their own bread, and it's called the most famous one is called tanurt. And
Hmm.
as kids we love it. It's cooked, in a stone oven, on top of small rocks, and it's really really delicious. And back then, um, it used to be served for special holidays like weddings, like circumcisions, engagements and stuff like that. Now it's really really popular, and you can have it literally anywhere. When you go to the mountains. So
Okay, is that this one here? It kind of looks like a flatbread.
that's called a musamman, and it's
No,
different.
no,
Okay.
that one,
Yes,
10
yes,
nerds.
yeah, that one.
Yes,
That's
Here?
that's
it.
right.
That's
Yeah,
the
Yeah.
thank
one.
you very
Yes,
much. Yeah, thank
yes.
you very much.
Thank you, Ted.
Yes,
Okay.
Yes, yeah,
Yeah, I think it was Pablo and a few other guests talked about
yes,
that,
yeah,
and
yeah,
they find
yeah,
people cooking
exactly.
it. Yeah.
They had it, I
yeah,
believe, in the desert. Yeah.
yes.
Huh. Okay. Interesting. Yeah, well, I am getting
Well,
hungry. It is
I
lunchtime.
was gonna say the same thing, and it's still breakfast time for
Okay,
me.
so
Welcome.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
it's
that's
it's
true.
dinner time in dinner time in Morocco.
You can have bread.
Yeah.
Okay, can you tell us a bit about a couple of these things?
Oh my
Harira
gosh, yes.
is the
Okay,
soup, right?
okay. So this is Khadija. This is
Yeah.
she made a menu for Ramadan, and this is the harira, which is a very special soup for us, and it's served especially in Ramadan. And again, when we talk about the tradition and the culture, it's for Ramadan 100%. However, you can still have it on a daily basis anywhere you go throughout Morocco, more on the north
Mm-hmm.
side versus the south side of Morocco. So it's always available. So, and it's really really good, and you can see the ingredients. It's got celery, it's got chickpeas, it's got lentil, so many really really healthy ingredients. Cilantro, parsley, tomato base, tomato sauce. So this
Mm-hmm.
it's incredible. So this is one of the, if you say that couscous is the national dish, this is the dish really
Mm-hmm.
that is famous in Ramadan. So and again,
Okay.
it's made differently from household to household, city to city, village to village, family to family. But it's just incredible.
Yeah, and you can have it as like an entrance or starter.
Yes,
If you before, for
Yeah.
example,
yes,
before you order your main dish,
yes.
you can only have harira. It's
Yeah.
it's amazing.
So for us, I mean, even now, Khadija still makes it, outside Ramadan, and I really, really enjoy it outside Ramadan because Ramadan, it's very filling. It really fills you up, and sometimes this is what we have for dinner, and it's very tasty,
Okay.
very flavorful, and you can add some, meat cubes to it, sliced meat to add a little bit of
Mm.
flavor. Some people they add
Yes.
just bone, and bone marrow for the flavor as well, and at the end when it's served, they,
Yeah.
they take them out. So it's a very diverse dish, and like Sam said,
Mm-hmm.
it can be an appetizer, it can be the main course. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
Mm.
yeah,
Interesting. Okay. Yeah, I remember trying it.
yes.
Um, what's another thing that jumps out here? Oh, I think we tried
Yes.
this
Oh,
Zaalouk.
Zaalouk,
Zaalouk.
aubergine. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
What's this made of?
it's made out of
With?
mainly eggplant, some spices,
Uh-huh.
uh,
Oh yeah.
Sam, you can help. I'm just watching. This looks really delicious.
Yeah, the aubergine called. Yeah, the aubergine. Yeah,
Ah,
I know the
Yep.
name.
Aubergine, yeah.
Aubergine,
Eggplant.
yes,
yes.
the aubergine. Yeah, this one is very famous and prepared in different way. There is some people they just put it on the fire and then they mix it. There is some
Mm.
of them they just put it first on the oil,
Yes.
then they prepare it like the one on um, the third photo, I think, the third photo on your right.
Like here?
Yeah, no, that one to your left, please.
Here?
Those round.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
yeah,
different.
yes,
That's
yes,
different.
yeah,
Those round. I like
Okay.
those
yes,
rounds. You know, when
I
you
see.
cook them in the oil. You know, you fry them
on the oil.
basically, and it's one of my
Yes,
favorite. But also, this dish
yes,
it can be served hot and it can be served cold. A lot of people they like it
yes, that's
hot,
right.
but for me, I
Yeah,
really like it cold. But if you can
yeah,
scroll up, you can see the ingredients. All that stuff goes into it. You know,
Hmm.
so there's the spices and the first top picture on the left, then the one underneath
yeah,
it. That's how it's mixed together, and then it's
yeah,
prepared in. You can see that pressure cooker, and then you know
Right.
yeah,
two pictures next to it on the right hand side. That's the process. You know, you
Hmm.
stir it. You keep
yes,
stirring that way it doesn't get stuck to the pressure cooker.
Mm.
So at the end
yeah,
result, this is what you have, and you can serve it as a side dish. And you can see here you have the main tagine, and I can't really see it, but I think it's maybe tagine with green peas, and it's really really good. The
Oh.
taste is
and
Hmm.
you find it in some menus as under the name of Zaalouk,
yes,
Hmm.
Zaalouk. Yeah,
Hmm.
this is the name Zaalouk.
yes,
Right.
yeah. So
Yeah, in some restaurant they put it on the menu as under this name.
yeah,
Yeah,
so Khadija
What
made
would
all
you see it other names too then?
Zaalouk.
Or that's the only name for it?
Yes,
yeah. That's yeah. It's
Zaalouk.
called Zaalouk. Yes,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Huh. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I remember. I'm sure we tried that. I feel like it might have been in Chef Shawan, but
It's
perhaps other places too.
when you go to Fes, they spoil you with
Yes,
Zaalouk and all type of small dishes. Fes, they just go above and beyond. It's just the experience is
and
just unbelievable. Yeah.
yeah, and
Hmm.
Yes,
Yeah,
I remember. Oh my
yeah,
goodness.
yeah, yeah. Remember Pali? Yeah, but yeah, in the palace.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Okay, the okay. I'm vegetarian. I have to wait at the end when they brought
Yeah.
vegetarian couscous to eat, and they already ate. They already ate what's it called chicken. They
Yes,
already ate
roasted chicken.
meat
Yes, we
with
had the
prawn.
lemon prawn. Yes,
And
Hmm.
and then we
they
had the
was the last one to eat.
yeah, we had the pastilla. Uh,
Pastilla, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
and I mean this place, and we're very lucky, and we send our guests there for lunch. Uh,
Yes.
it's it's better for lunch than dinner because you don't want to eat that type of food for dinner because you're not gonna go to sleep.
Yes.
So
Mm.
the experience is beyond incredible. The service is amazing. The history for that palace, it is a palace actually.
Yeah.
I don't want to give too much information, but we're coming up with video podcasts to everywhere that we have stopped, and this is one of the main stops. So Fes,
Mm.
I love Fes. I'm always
Yeah.
fascinated by Fes. I can go to Fes for 3 months and not see the same thing twice. It's just
Mm.
beyond incredible. I love Marrakesh, but Fes is just beyond amazing. So,
Hmm.
so the audience and the viewers they'll get a chance to see exactly what we talk about, and it's just
Yeah.
it's an
Yeah.
amazing experience.
Yeah.
And by the way, I
Yeah.
just want
Looking
to give
forward
the
to that.
name. That palace is called Palace Limon Bahi, just in case.
Yeah.
Limon Bahi.
Mm.
Pali in
Yeah,
French. Pali Lemon yeah.
yeah,
Palace.
We'll have to put that in the notes here.
yes,
Figure out how to spell it.
yes.
Palais
Yeah.
Menbhi. Menbhi.
Okay.
Yeah, we spent like 4 or 5 days in Fez,
4 days.
and we
Yeah,
we couldn't do it. We couldn't do all
yes,
of Fez.
yeah,
That's right. Yes.
Is this it here? Palais MNB?
yeah.
Menbhi.
Yes,
That's
yes,
right.
yeah. That's the
Minabi?
one. Yes,
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
yes,
The exhibits.
yes.
Yeah, some of the
Oh
restaurants. Yeah.
yes, that's it.
Nice, beautiful view. Yeah.
Yes, yes, yeah. So,
Oh, okay. Cool.
Uh,
Neat.
and also keep in mind if you're gonna book your lunch here, book
Hmm.
it early and book it in advance because This
Yeah,
place is extremely rich in terms of history, and a lot of people they come in. And you'll be having your lunch, and flocks of people will be coming and visiting the
yeah.
place,
This is
Oh yeah.
and you
this
don't
is
want
yeah
to,
the
yeah. So
traditional music.
yes,
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, yeah. So fast
Cool.
they do it.
that's right.
Nobody else does the way they do it fast. I mean, it's just
This is
Hmm.
it.
yeah,
This is only appetizer state, by the way.
yes,
Only appetizers and
Yeah, that's a good
others.
point. I
Yeah,
remember this.
yeah,
I'm glad I found this
yeah.
little video because
Yes,
when you go to a restaurant, a bigger restaurant maybe, but we'd sit down around a big round table and they bring out these little dishes
yes,
of appetizers and little samples. So the
yes,
carrots are your example and the other things. And you just take little spoonfuls,
yes,
right? And
yes,
and it fills you up. I mean,
yes,
if you have another dish coming, then which you probably would have a tagine or
yes,
something right
yeah, yeah,
afterwards. So this is just the appetizer, but that's often how they serve
yeah,
it is these little appetizer type dishes
yes,
that you can take little
exactly.
pieces
Yeah,
out. Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, because I remember I went by myself and they give me I counted them, I think 11 of those small dishes, and I was like, what? So I ate as much as I could, and I was like, I was full. But then they brought the chicken tagine. I was like, oh my gosh, this is just it's the food in Fas is just it's another experience
Mm.
on its own. You have to try it. You have to try it.
Yep. Okay, well, for start, I'm sure we could go on for a long time talking about food. I know we should do another session before too long, maybe about some other
Yeah,
questions. One thing I really do want to cover though is when you go to a restaurant, an average restaurant, how much would a lot of these dishes cost? So if you order tagine, of course,
that's a
depends on the
good
ingredients
question.
and stuff, the size, but I mean, can you get a sense at least of what typical prices when you order tagine, a pastille, and stuff
Yes,
like
you
that?
can get a sense of the price just by
yes.
being outside the building before you go in.
Okay.
So what I'm saying is, you can get a tagine, and Sam, correct me if I'm wrong, from $5, USD, to maybe a couple of $100, depending on the hotel you're going to, if it's a high-end 5-star, 6-star hotel. So it really really depends, and also the experience. So for example, the pit stops that you have said, Sam, I mean Ted, you can have a tagine, like I said, tagine for the whole family will cost you less than $10, and you eat a lot of, I mean, it'll fill you
Yes.
up. So the same tagine, if you
Yeah.
were to have it somewhere else, it'll probably cost you about 150. So
Mm.
it really, really varies. I mean, the quality
Yeah.
varies as well, but on average, tagine should cost you around $10.
In
That,
yeah, in a good restaurant, the average, including, for example, the full menu, for example, even the main dish and, for example, dessert and the appetizer or starters or something. It, in a good restaurant, it costs about between $20 to $25 per
Yeah.
person. We are
Okay.
talking about an amazing restaurant.
yes,
But when we
Sure.
talk about a high end, for example, high end, the Moroccan food is not expensive. For example, when you order Mediterranean food, French or Italian food is become more expensive than you ordering Moroccan food. If you want, for example, one main dish, for example, like when you say tagine, as they say,
Sure.
between $5 to $15. That's it. Yeah, and you can eat very, very good.
yeah.
Yeah.
And that would feed a few people?
Two probably, yeah,
Two,
Two.
yeah,
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. For two people, for tagine, yeah, for two people is good. Yeah, and you can
Mhm.
pay like $10.
yeah.
It's good.
Mhm.
I'm hungry.
Um yeah. Um I'm trying to remember now. Does water usually come with the meal? Do you have to order bottled water
That's a good
separately?
question. Normally, tap water will come, uh, but not recommended. For
Yeah.
restaurants, you ask for water, they'll bring you the bottle of water, but they charge you extra. Now, this is for restaurants and most of them. So every time you ask for a bottle of water, there's no free refill basically. And
Mm.
also, let's say when you go to a coffee shop, most coffee shops, um, when you order, whether it's espresso, whether it's regular coffee, cappuccino, whatever you get, or tea, it comes with a small bottle of water in most
Yeah,
places. If they don't
Mm.
give you the bottle of water, they just bring you a glass of water. Yeah, tap water basically. So
Yeah.
yeah,
yeah, yeah. And in some restaurants,
Mm.
they, for example, when you order like a full menu, for example, they give you like a bottle of water. Yeah, you
Okay.
want second, you have to pay for
yeah,
it extra.
yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Huh. Okay. And then what about drinks? Some restaurants serve alcohol. Is it I don't know, is it becoming more common if you want to have beer or wine? How easy is it to find?
It just depends on the restaurant. If you go in something that it's local, that it's very traditional, speaking about Marrakesh, for example, Jamefna, it's you're not gonna find it. But then you go a little bit upscale, yeah, you'll have a variety of choices to choose from. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, so especially some many restaurants, they have like authorization to sell
Yes.
alcohol right now.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
in and the other restaurants, as Dean said, inside, for example, on the square, Jamafna Square, there's only like sodas and
Yeah.
yeah,
But the other thing is, you have
Mm.
to keep in mind, this is what it's part of the culture. A lot of people, they're under the preconception that there's no alcohol in Morocco. Morocco, there's quite a
Mm.
bit of alcohol. There's wineries in Morocco, and they're really good and
Yeah.
very good quality. But it's catered to the tourists. It's not meant for the
Okay.
locals
yes,
or the local consumption, but it's mainly for tourists. So
Hmm.
nowadays you can't really tell who's who. So, but it's if you go to a bar, you'll see more locals than tourists most of the
Yeah.
time.
yes,
So, but that's just how it is. Yeah.
yes.
So
The law is safe for tourists, and
I'm a tourist today.
Sure. Yeah. Well, that's a good point, though. So, like, is there any cultural kind of pushback, or do you get kind of frowned upon if you order alcohol,
Not
right? Or
really.
is it more
No,
accepted?
it's
Okay.
well accepted. And just to add something else, and Sam can have, if choose to add some stuff, because he knows a little bit more than I do, basically. So let's say, for example, you go into the southern part of Morocco. In some areas, you'll have wine. For example, when you go to the camp in Merzouga and so forth. Now, sometimes,
Hmm.
the locals, or the authorities might tighten the system, but you can always have your own and take it with you. Nobody's
Hmm.
gonna say why, or you cannot have it. You can have your own, bottle of wine, and take it to you, or your case of wine, uh, you know, uh,
Hmm.
and nobody will tell you anything. So, but when it comes to alcohol, it's served literally almost everywhere, especially the north side of
Hmm.
Morocco versus the south side, but it's served pretty much everywhere.
yeah, that's right.
Hmm.
Especially nowadays, there is like many authorizations given to the restaurant, even to the riads,
Yeah.
so that they can serve
Hmm.
alcohol. As Dean said, when you are going, for example, to the Sahara, to the desert, to
Okay.
Merzouga, you can buy it in a shop. You can stop like in Ouarzazate or in Toudra, for example, to buy it. There is shops that is selling alcohol, like 3 or 4 shops
Mm.
in each city, where you can buy it and take it with you. So no one will tell you why or where you take it or some stuff.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
especially for tourists. Yeah.
Basically, there are specific places where you can buy alcohol. In Morocco, they are called pisri. So,
Yeah.
and you can see them. They are just in in a lot of neighborhoods, but they are specific. They have authorization to sell alcohol. It's called pisserie. So if you don't know where to get it, just ask the Riyadh or the hotel, wherever you're staying, or even your driver, and say, hey, can you take me to a pisserie, or can you direct me to a pisserie? And then they'll tell you, they give you the information. So
Yeah,
normally, yeah.
or you buy shrab. By the way, the name in Moroccan dialect language is called shrab. Shrab is alcohol. It's referred to alcohol. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Huh.
If you are, for example, in Morocco alone, or just traveling alone to Morocco, you just ask for shrab, and they will show you the place where you can buy it.
Okay. Can you think of the price then for your average decent bottle of
Oh,
wine at the épicerie?
the alcohol in Morocco is a little bit pricey in the U.S. That
Yeah.
include, liquor, beer, and wine as well. So um, I don't really remember, to be honest, but it's probably, I would say, an average is 25 to 35 more what it costs in the U.S. In
Hmm.
Morocco. So Morocco is about 25 to 35% more. Yeah,
Percent. Okay.
yeah, just to give an idea, and I could be 100% incorrect. So
Mm.
Yeah, for example, beer, it depends. If it's local, you can buy it one bottle, for example, 33 centiliters. You can buy it for $1.5, which is
Okay.
15 equivalent to 15 dirhams. And
Right.
if you want imported like beers from Spanish or French or Italian or Germany,
Hmm.
especially the Heineken, for example, you can buy it for $2.
Hmm.
Yeah, and
That's
it's
cheap.
Okay.
still, as Azdean said, it's not cheap if you compare to Moroccan prices.
Yeah,
It's expensive,
yeah,
a little bit,
Yeah.
I
yeah.
got you.
But
Yeah.
the wine is expensive. It depends on especially the good quality is expensive. We can talk about
Mm.
30, $40 for a bottle. Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
Hmm. Yeah. Something I don't know if we even had one drink there. We didn't really go to Morocco to,
That's
think
yeah,
about
that's what a lot of people do.
drinking.
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. So, the last question I have here is, what are the typical hours for lunch and dinner? Do people eat late? Is it like in Europe often where, dinner doesn't even start till like 9 or 10 o'clock? What's it like in Morocco in
It's
general?
almost the same system, but again, it really depends on the family. Now, the culture has changed in the last 30 years because then a lot of people did not eat out. Now there's a lot of availability outside. They used to eat most of the time in their houses. Now it's different. So there's the nightlife has changed. Some places they open 24 hours. A lot of places they close at 10, some at 11 p.m. Um,
Hmm.
yeah, but Sam, if you can elaborate, please, because I may not
Sure.
have
The,
accurate
yeah,
information.
if you are a tourist, there is like lunchtime is lunchtime between noon and 2, for
Hmm.
example. Dinners between 6 and 9, for example. But for locals, for example, they have like late dinner,
Yeah.
9 to 10 p.m., and they start
Mhm.
eating dinner. Lunch, for example, if they had like an early breakfast, so they had lunch at 1 p.m., and depends if they have like a late breakfast, then they have like lunch at 3 or 4 p.m. It depends on the
Okay.
families and depends if they have kids. For example, if they don't have kids, it depends. But in the restaurants, they started lunch from 11. So
Mhm.
you can have lunch started from 11 to 3, and then the dinner that starts from 5 then to 10 p.m. Yeah,
Okay. The other thing that I
Hmm.
wanted to add, if possible, please, when you talk about the traditional, in Morocco we say breakfast. That's the main breakfast. Then there's a quick bite between the actual breakfast and lunch, and we call it the second breakfast. And then when you have
Hmm.
lunch, between lunch and dinner, there's what we call kaskrot, a snack or a bite.
another break.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So they eat throughout the day.
five times a day, five prayers a
Yeah.
day.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's a good point. It's good to know you can always get food, I guess, and that it's not like everything shuts down at a
Oh
certain
no,
time.
no,
Some
no.
restaurants maybe, but yeah,
Oh no.
Yeah.
if you want to be out late and have a late
Yeah.
dinner, you
Yeah.
can.
Definitely yes.
Yeah, but in the big cities we are talking about, if you are in the villages, no.
A village
The
is
villages
different.
is
Yeah, that's
totally
true.
different.
Yeah.
They have to have like an early dinner, and they have breakfast very early as well,
Hmm.
lunch as well. It's
Mhm.
totally different than the big cities
Yeah.
like Marrakesh or Fez or Casablanca.
Mm.
Yeah,
Yeah. Cool.
yeah.
Well, anything else comes to mind for you guys?
Um, each city, keep in mind, each city is known for its own really popular dish. Do your
Mm.
homework if you're traveling on your own. Know what Fas is known for. It's Saura, Chef Shawar and so forth. Marrakesh, Merzouga, Agadir, Souara, Casablanca, Rabat. Um, if you go in south, Dakhla, if you really left, there's, especially when you're talking the coastline, at the Atlantic Ocean, it's very different. Then you have the Mediterranean, it's very different as well. So, and just do your
Mm.
homework and prepare everything ahead of time. If you have some, food restrictions, let them know ahead of time. If you're traveling with us,
Yeah.
let us know. We'll take care of it for you. We'll arrange everything for you. Also, the other thing that I wanted
Awesome.
to mention outside um, this episode or this live Q&A is we're going to do one that it's about scams. And also, I
Yeah.
want to emphasize now we're doing small group tours. They're between
Mm.
8 to 12 people, and they're going to start in April 2024. We have one per month, one for the north side of Morocco, one for the south side of Morocco, and they're both 8 days. If
Mhm.
Keep that in mind because you're saving quite a bit of money on the small group tours versus the private tours, and we're having them small because we want to keep that authentic experience live as well, so you can feel it. And instead of going to the hotels and stuff, we want to book it in a Riyadh. So that's really really important because we want you to have that experience. So these are the ones that we're
Yeah.
talking about. This is the north side. It's 8 day Imperial Cities tour. It's an
Mhm.
incredible value. It's amazing, amazing value. So and it's going to be a lot of fun, really. So yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it's
Okay.
cool. I'm glad you guys are doing
thank
that.
you.
It gives people some different
Yes,
options. Yeah.
yeah, and
Yes.
we plan in
Yes.
once a month. You can have either the north side or the south side. So
Yes.
that's what we're going to be doing for 2024. If we have more requests, then we can add more tours um,
Hmm.
per month.
Yes,
Yeah.
and yeah, each tour has like upgrade.
Yes.
So if you have like if you come before like 3 days before, you can do such activities. Especially if you are in Marrakesh, landed in Marrakesh or in Casablanca, for example. When the tour finish, for example, you can add as well. Say let's say you are in norther and you want like to discover the southern Morocco
Mm.
in 4 days, for example. Left, we can organize this tour as well for you as a private tour,
Yes.
so you can explore. For example, you can go day trip to Essaouira or to the Atlas Mountains for like the rest 2 days or 3 days that is left after you are enjoying your northern tour or your southern tour. Well,
Absolutely.
Okay.
yeah,
Absolutely. Perfect.
Hmm.
yeah. What I
Neat.
want to add in the in food for when you are in Merzouga in the desert, don't forget, for example, they have a special dish there which is called Medfouna.
The buried.
The berry or Berber pizza. It's amazing,
Oh,
especially
yeah.
if you are not vegetarian. You have to eat to try it because it's prepared with meat and
Yeah. Because
some vegetables and spices and stuff. Yeah,
yeah, I remember Gordon Ramsay said that's the best pizza that he had in
that's
his
right.
life.
Thank you very much, Ted. Yeah, that's
Yes.
yeah,
There's
that's
the
it.
desert. Cool.
Yes.
Oh, is
Yes,
this how they make it here in
Yes.
yes,
the?
Yes.
yes.
That's why
Okay.
it's called buried. Is
Buried.
the
So it's a
Yeah,
stuffed pizza
yeah.
kind of thing.
Yes.
yeah.
But
It's Berber
yeah,
pizza.
but this one you have to order in
Yeah.
advance as well. Just keep that in mind,
Yes,
Yeah.
please.
that's right. Yes, yeah.
What kind of ingredients would they put in it? Different things?
It's local ingredients, chicken,
Yeah,
beef, goat, cheese,
Oh, yeah.
vegetables.
yeah,
Yeah, it's really, really
yeah.
good.
It's delicious,
And is
amazing.
that only around Merzouga, or can you find it in other
You
places?
can, but that's one of the best places that it's recommended. And also
Yeah,
because
mostly.
yeah,
Yeah, air food, and
yeah,
Merzouga mostly. Yeah,
Okay.
because you
yeah,
can have it on your own, but sometimes if you don't know the people, you may not turn out to be good. So that's
yeah,
Mm.
that's the thing
yeah,
that I keep emphasizing about Morocco. You have to know somebody, and somebody knows somebody, and that's how literally you
Mm.
get whatever you need to get done. So
yeah.
Yeah.
This way. Yeah,
yeah,
Yeah. Cool.
awesome
Okay. Well, yes. I know we're all hungry, so let's go get some
for
food.
sure.
yeah. Enjoy it.
um, so let me look at the calendar. Our next live session should be January 10th,
Yes,
Wednesday,
next year.
January
Yes.
10th.
Yeah,
Wow.
in return. Yeah,
And yeah, we'll do the scam episode because we got so many requests, and the one that we
Hmm.
did back last year, season episode 4, was just amazing. So we're gonna do some update
Yep.
scams and some new things to look out for as travelers to Morocco or as clients traveling with us to Morocco. So
Yep.
I'm looking forward to that one as well. So it's gonna be a lot of fun.
yeah. It's
Nice.
amazing. Yeah, I will tell you many stories about it. By the way,
Mm.
Many funny stories about the scams.
We got scammed.
Yeah. Yeah. See, it can happen to anyone.
Yes,
Yeah,
yeah, it
yeah.
does. Yeah, that is the truth.
It's no, the scams exist everywhere in the
Yeah,
world. It's not in Morocco, but
Yeah.
it's so fun. It's so funny.
it's
Yeah, we'll have
yeah,
so much fun.
it's
Yeah.
smooth. You don't even feel it.
Yes.
And the thing is, we
Yeah.
just laughed. We did not get mad. We just laughed.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mm.
What can you do?
Well,
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm looking forward to hear about that.
absolutely, absolutely. Thank you so much, David.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You have traveled the world, but Morocco's allure beckons you. Destination Morocco is here to create the perfect once-in-a-lifetime Moroccan journey, tailored exclusively to your desires. Let us craft an itinerary that unlocks the secrets of this mesmerizing land just for you. For a luxurious, bespoke Moroccan adventure of a lifetime, visit destinationsmorocco.com. That's destinations with an S, morocco.com. And let us turn your dreams into reality. Your amazing Moroccan experience awaits.